So we have weekend box office numbers now, and I want to take a look at these, but the one thing I want to point out is Sonic 2 had a good opening weekend, which I like because the movie is a good family film. If you have a family and you want to take your kids to the movies, this is a pretty safe bet. And it doesn't have any weird messaging in it. It doesn't try to tell you anything strange or groom your kids into anything. It just entertains, and that's all I think you can ask from it. Now, a lot of critics like to trash on this movie. As you can see, it's sitting at a 67%. It should be much higher. A lot of these people rate this movie like it's supposed to be E.T., quoting one of my Saturday co-hosts, Lofty Pixels. It's not supposed to be E.T. It's just a family fun movie. That's it. And the fun thing about this movie is you could take your kids to it, and odds are a lot of the dads going played Sega Genesis when they were kids and will likely remember a lot of the messaging in this movie. A lot of little nods to the game series. Not like this isn't a big spoiler, but like Dr. Robotnik's base on Earth is called the Mean Bean, which, if you remember, that is a game, the Mean Bean Machine. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's a nod to the game. There's a lot of stuff like that in this, which I think is pretty cool. As you can see, the audience score is really high. Once again, showing critics and audiences just don't agree on anything anymore. But let's take a look at some of these numbers here. Fantastic Beasts, too, by the way, actually did all right overseas, $58 million. So now I'm wondering how this movie is going to perform domestically. We'll find out. But Sonic crushed it overseas. Well, not so much. It had a higher thing here, but I mean, if you look at the total number, it crushed it. Sonic 2 speeds to 141 million global. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore uncovers 58 million in early offshore bow. RRR roars to WW Milestone International box office. So let's take a look at some of these numbers here. Lots of moving parts at the international box office again this weekend as another major studio title is kickstarting with early overseas rollout prior to its domestic debut. Warner Brothers' Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore made its first apparition in 22 offshore markets this frame, grossing $58 million to lead overseas turnstiles before it heads to North America in the coming week. Meanwhile, Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which already had a strong launch in key offshore hubs last frame, is on a tear. The Jeff Fowler-directed sequel added $37 million internationally this weekend, and with the $71 million North America debut, landed as the global #1 movie this session. Factoring in last weekend, Sonic's international cume is $70 million for a $141 million running global total. So not too bad. Dumbledore did a little bit better than expected, to be honest. $58 million. I thought that was going to do a lot less. We'll see what it does over here with its domestic debut, as they say. Now, I guess $58 million, a lot of movies can live or die by the international box office. It did terrible in China, but to be fair, most of China's theaters are shut down right now because they're going through another lockdown. So that likely hurt it, though. I don't know what the other ones have done over in that market, so that's also to play in this. Sonic, though, doing good. Like I said, no strange grooming messages in this movie. It's just family fun. It's a safe movie to take your kids to. So I do recommend it, and I think you'll have a good time if you do decide to go see it. I enjoyed it. Like I said in my previous video, I give it a 7 out of 10. I think that's a pretty fair score. It's not perfect, but it's not awful. It's a fun time. I had fun watching it, especially as as a fan of the older games, I like that they really do want to please fans with this series. And it's likely going to get a sequel now that it's proven to be a pretty successful movie. Before we move on, I do want to point out that Morbius had an awful second or third week. I think this is the second week for Morbius, right? It saw the worst drop. Some outlets are saying 75% drop. Deadline's reporting a 62% drop. So I'm not quite sure where the number is. I did see a couple outlets say 75%, which I believe would make it the worst Marvel-themed movie second week drop ever. So that's pretty awful. And maybe, and this could be a good thing, maybe Sony will rethink just releasing any Spider-Man character into a movie is not such a good idea. It's awful. This should have never been made. No, who cares about Morbius? Now Venom, that works. Venom's a pretty big character, but Morbius, who gives a shit about Morbius? Who even knows who he is? It's not like he's some big cult favorite character in the comics. He's literally a Spider-Man and Blade character. Started in Spider-Man, though. So, I don't know. This seems dumb to me. The movie sounds awful. I haven't watched it. Maybe I'll watch it when it hits streaming. But I have no desire to go see this in the theaters, and it doesn't look like I'm the only one. But either way, 62% drop is awful. And if the 75% drop is true, that's even worse. We've got some numbers for Fantastic Beasts here. Did good in Germany, it appears, and in Japan, and in Australia. The UK, it made $8 million. Seems kind of low. Spain, it made 3.1. Didn't do well in China. It had 10 million in China because, like I said, most of China is locked down. Here's Sonic's international numbers. Some other stuff. Batman, 6.6 million. Uncharted, 3 million. Ambulance all had a horrible launch. Horrible launch. Too bad, dude. That movie actually looks all right. I just don't have any desire to go see it. I'll probably check that movie out when it comes out on Blu-ray. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.